Hey guys, Chris Cook in Nashville here. I have a fun, exciting recipe. If you're on beef, butter, bacon, eggs, if you are carnivore, even if you're on keto, you probably love bacon. Every piece of bacon that I have found in the grocery store from almost all of the companies is cured with sugar. Now, there's basically almost none of it left, but still, if I can go fully sugar-free, I would like to. And there's a few companies out there that do that, but it's very expensive. I thought today I would show you how we can do completely sugar-free bacon from scratch at home. You can make it right in your fridge, and it's gonna be a whole lot cheaper than going into the store and buying the sugar-free bacon. So let me show you how we make homemade bacon, Chris Cook in Nashville style. This has been a several weeks process to get it to this point. It doesn't have to take that long. I just wanted to do a long one, so it's so good. I usually like my bacon a little softer, but I did this really crispy. You'll notice though, I can get this super, super crispy and it's not overly dark because there's no sugar in it to burn. So you can actually get it super crispy very, very easily. It just doesn't even taste like anything in the store. It's so good. It's so fatty. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just gonna hand this piece to my lovely wife behind the camera so she can taste it and see what she thinks.
Oh, yeah. Get my microphone on. I heard there was bacon, and I take my job very seriously. You can smell bacon walking in the house. It smells amazing. Sweet baby Jesus. Come on. Got some good bacon. It's fatty, super crisp. I like my bacon kind of crispy. I think it cooks up really well. I love the actual color of it though. Like if you look at that, I know Chris was saying it's like because it doesn't have sugar, it doesn't turn out being like burnt and brown. It's really good though. There's a lot of flavor, super good seasoning. I bet this would be really good with some bacon and eggs. Man, I've watched this sit in my fridge for, I don't even know how long at this point, long time, and I've been waiting to try this bacon. It's been driving me nuts. It was worth the wait. Super good. Bacon. Hey Mel, want bacon? You want some bacon? We'll see if Mel approves. Can you sit? What do you think? Oh, that's a 10 out of 10 right there. Mel approves, I approve. I'm just gonna take this whole plate now. Okay, bye.
Okay guys, this is simple ingredients, but an interesting process. Here I have a pork belly. You can see one side is very fatty and the other side is meaty. Try to get the meatiest looking bacon you can. You can see this has a nice thick strip of meat running through the fat. So what we need to do is we're going to cure this with salt. This is a pink curing salt, which I'm going to link down below. This is some smoked salt. I also have a Redmond's affiliate link below for you guys, and I'm gonna use black pepper. You can flavor this however you want, but you are going to need a scale. I will also link a scale below. So we're gonna turn this on, make sure it is zeroed out, and I'm gonna weigh my pork belly. You can see I have 2,388 grams of pork. Now what I need to do is take this weight and multiply by different percentages. I'm going to put those in the description box, but it's going to be 2.5% salt. So that comes out to about 60 grams. So I'm going to take a little bit of this Redmond's smoked salt since I'm not going to be smoking this bacon. I want to get a little smoky flavor. So I'm going to do about a third of this salt mixture with the smoked salt. So I'm going to do 20 grams, you can see there, of the Redmond's smoked salt. And then I need to add this regular Redmond's salt until I get up to 60 grams. So we're just going to keep adding that in, measure this out, and we're measuring this so that we don't have to then rinse a bunch of salt off or wash the pork belly later. Now this is curing salt, this Prague powder number 1, I'm going to link it below. This is what makes it bacon. It's going to make it look pink. It's going to keep it from going bad in the refrigerator. And you can see it's kind of a fluffy pink colored salt. You have to get the right kind here. So I will link this below, but we need 0.25% by weight. That comes out to be about 6 grams. So I'm just going to measure this into this bowl with the rest of the salt until we get 6 grams of curing salt. Now, I would suggest you do this with your pork belly because it just keeps it safer to eat. And then I'm going to add some black pepper. You can add any seasonings or flavorings at this point that you want. About 2% of each of them is good by weight, but I just cracked in a bunch of fresh black pepper. I'm going to mix this all really well, and this is going to be our curing salt mixture. Now, once I have that all mixed up extremely well, I'm going to put it onto my pork belly. I'm going to put about half of this mixture on the first side. You don't have to be super picky about this, but I'm going to try to get an even coating of this, mostly just because I want it to soak in to all of the bacon. So I'm starting on the meaty side, and I'm going to put half, maybe a little more than half on this side because this is where most of the salt is going to go into the pork, and I'm going to pat that down really well. I'm also taking a little bit from the cookie tray here and I'm rubbing it onto the edges. We want to make sure we salt every surface of the pork belly. Then we're going to flip it over and I'm going to take the other half, maybe a little less than half of this mixture, and I'm going to spread it on this side. Now we measured this out by weight, so we want to make sure to use all of this curing salt. Do not leave any of this in the bowl, even if it looks like a lot, because a lot of this is going to get washed off when we finish the final product. Once this is coated on all sides really well, you can put this in any kind of an airtight container. I'm going to use a Ziploc bag because I find that to be the easiest, but you can put this inside of any kind of a container that you can stick in the refrigerator that is airtight. So I'm just going to slide this into a Ziploc bag, and once I have that inside of the bag, I'm going to clean any of the extra seasoning and salt off of the cookie sheet. Remember, we did this by weight, so we want to get all of that salt into the bag. And then I'm going to go ahead and seal the bag up, and this can be a little tough because you can get salt into those zippers. But once I get it sealed, I'm going to just kind of squeeze it around, make sure it's good to go. This is what's going to go into the fridge to cure. Now, before I put this in the fridge, one important thing to do is write the date, because this needs to go in from 5 days up to 14 days, and we're going to flip it over once a day. So you just put it in the refrigerator, flip it every 24 hours, and after about 13 days for me, I pulled this back out of the fridge and you can see it is starting to darken. That's because that salt is soaking in. Once this is complete, the cure has done its job, we can go ahead and take this out. And I like the bags because I can just rip them open just like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and wash the bacon off. We're going to give it a really good bath. This is just to make sure if there's any extra salt or seasoning that is on the outside, the flavor has not absorbed, that we wash it off so that it doesn't just create some salty chunk or overly seasoned spot. Then I'm going to put a cooling rack on my cookie sheet. I'm going to lay down some paper towels, and I'm going to lay my pork belly on top of it. And we're going to get some more paper towels to lay over the top. I'm going to start pressing down, and I'm just drying off the excess water. And if there's any leftover pieces of seasoning, we go ahead and pull those off as well. You can wipe this and pat this down, flip it over, take those paper towels off, same thing, wipe off any excess seasoning, and then this goes uncovered back into the fridge for at least a day, but honestly, 3 to 5 days is way better. It makes it really great. And after about 5 days in the fridge, I pull this out, and now you can see it's gotten even darker, and the liquidy, wet texture of the surface is all completely gone. This is dry cured, and when you take this out of the refrigerator, you're going to notice when you press it, it is very dry and it has a skin on the outside. That is perfect. If you wanted to smoke your bacon at this point, you totally could, or just like me, if you used the smoked salt, all we need to do is get ready to slice it up. All right, so all we're gonna do now is slice up a little bit of this. If you have a deli slicer, that's even easier. I'm not gonna bother getting mine out just for this, but deli slicer does a good job. So does this Dalstrong 12-inch Gladiator chef's knife as well. I'll put a link for this and some other stuff down below, and keep an eye out. I've got more stuff coming from Dalstrong. So you can see the bacon fat, the way it runs through there looks like a slice of bacon. We're gonna start from that side there, and we're just gonna slice through. This is a little tough on the outside because it's dry. That's all right. But look at that. Look at that beautiful bacon. So all we gotta do is just carefully slice through. On the inside, it's fatty, it's soft, it's flexible. Slice a little bit of this up. All right, y'all. That's how we do the homemade bacon. You saw my wife loved it. She took the rest of what was on the plate. This is what I got. So it is absolutely amazing. It is better than any bacon you're ever going to get in a store. Promise you, you guys are gonna make it this way and you're really going to say, I should probably never buy bacon again. Make sure to try out the recipe. I'm gonna put all of the percentages down below because you're gonna have to weigh out your meat so that you can do this properly. I'll put the links down below to the curing salt and the other things that I use. Make sure to go check out those Dow Strong knives because it makes cutting something that has a thick skin like this, like bacon, it makes it much, much easier. And I've got more stuff from Dow Strong coming, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love every single one of you. All my links are down below as usual. This is Chris Cookin' Nashville. Eat your meat, and especially your bacon. Love your life, and I'm gonna see you right here in the kitchen for the next recipe.